Is Malakai Black leaving AEW? We have new AEW Tag Team Champions, and has the MJFJ Jarro feud been abandoned? Let's talk about it. Welcome to Allison Analysis. I'm Ben Allison, and I've analysed last night's episode of AEW Dynamite, and here are my 5 key findings. In at number 5, the opening segment with Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega was absolutely exceptional. It was the perfect example of how you are meant to start a wrestling show. Something that's chaotic and draws you in from the start and makes you want to watch the rest of the episode. I also did like the fact that Omega didn't immediately trust Ospreay. He acknowledged the issues that they've had in the past, and that to me made it feel a lot more natural. But as the segment went on and Ospreay kept saving Omega more and more, Omega's trust grew, and in the end he decided to side with him. And I do understand some people's complaints that the Don Callis family felt a little weak because, of course, they retreated when there was 4 of them against the 2 men, which were Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. But at the end of the day, this was not a match, so I didn't have that much of an issue with it. They retreated so that they could live to fight another day. Don Callis made the call. They weren't necessarily defeated, right? Because if it was a 4-2 handicap match, yeah, I would have an issue. But this was just a brawl. So personally, I thought it was a really fun opening, and I didn't have any issues with it at all. An absolute banger to start the show. In at number 4, I'm delighted the Hurt Syndicate are tag team champions. Since arriving in AEW, the faction have been one of the best parts of AEW television every single week, and they deserve this reward. And Bobby Lashley has done so much throughout his career. He is undoubtedly a future Hall of Famer, but the one thing which he has never done is won a tag team championship. But hey, now he has, and Shelton Benjamin has also added yet another tag team championship to his accolades. My hope is that they bring back prestige to these tag team titles and make the tag team division feel important once again. And yes, it absolutely sucks for Private Party because they undoubtedly did deserve a longer tag team reign. But at the end of the day, these things happen in professional wrestling. At least Private Party did get the opportunity to win the belts, and hopefully they will win them back in the future. In at number 3, the Jamie Hayter and Julia Hart storyline deserved better. This feud was months in the making, with Julia Hart's return focused around targeting Jamie Hayter, but it just hasn't felt anywhere near as important as it should do. And despite it originally having a strong build, the first match kind of felt rushed. It didn't feel like they had enough time when they had that match a few weeks ago, and it kind of was just in the middle of the show, and it didn't have that much importance surrounding it. But I was delighted that it was continuing after that, and I did enjoy their brawl last week in the Casino Gauntlet match, so I was really hoping that they were going to take a couple of weeks, build the feud a little more, and then have the 2 main event an episode of Dynamite, but nope, they just randomly announced it for the next week. Don't get me wrong, the match itself last night was very, very good, but that could have been the main event. It should have been built for another couple of weeks, and then it could have been in that position. And that's the frustrating thing. And Jamie Hayter cut a great promo after the match. But what did annoy me was she was respecting Julia Hart when she should be furious at her heading into their 3rd and final match. I'm just such a big fan of both of these ladies, and I do think this could have been a huge program if it was booked right, and at times it has shown the potential of that, but it just hasn't been put in the right positions and given the TV time that it deserves. But before we go any further, if you guys could like and subscribe, that would be so much appreciated. It genuinely would be. Here at Wrestling Republic, we create between 5 to 10 free videos every single week and do a daily live stream every single day at 8 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. Eastern in America, and 12 p.m. Pacific in America. Thank you, guys. In at number 2, is the MJFJ Jarro feud already over? A lot of people complained about that segment last week, and don't get me wrong, it was undoubtedly too long, and the insults used were so overused and just didn't really hit well at all. But I was going to give it the benefit of the doubt and see where they went, but it seems like they might have just abandoned it. As Jeff Jarrett's promo last night seemingly put the feud to bed as he heads on to feud with the Death Riders and take on Claudio Castagnoli last night. But then later in the show, MJF's promo seemed to make me think the feud could potentially continue, but at the same time it also teased a feud with Hangman Page. I do think it's a great thing that AEW listen to fans and make changes when fans aren't really enjoying certain things, but at the same time, they did put 2 weeks of television time into this, so I would have liked to have seen at least some payoff. I mean, don't get me wrong, maybe this is all just part of the plan, this was the plan, I don't know, but it just doesn't feel like it. And in at number 1, Malakai Black is seemingly done with AEW. On last night's episode of Dynamite, Brody King, Buddy Matthews, and Julia Hart revealed that they are no longer the House of Black and instead are the Hounds of Hell. Firstly, that is a hell of a name for a faction, ha ha ha, pun intended, but secondly, this seemingly confirms the Malakai Black exit. And I am glad the three are staying together, and I think they have bucket loads of potential together, but at the same time, Malakai Black's AEW run massively underdelivered. I'm a huge fan of this guy, and I remember when he first signed with AEW, he released a 5-minute teaser video, and the word cinema gets thrown around way too often in professional wrestling, but this legitimately was cinema, and I was so excited because he was so different to every single person which AEW had. He was a fantastic promo and a great wrestler as well. I thought it was a recipe for success, but it ended up being one for failure. Hopefully the future is bright for the Hounds of Hell, and hopefully the future is bright for Malakai Black as well, no matter what's next for him. But at the end of the day, this AEW run, well, it was disappointing to say the least. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts on AEW Dynamite in the comments down below. And again, if you could like and subscribe, that would mean so much to me. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.